Good evening. Welcome to Labyrinthium. Castle, what's it? Is that what I was going to call the house? I think Labyrinthium's the place where the house is, right? And so I thought that you could lie to Facebook, by the way, about like the name of the city you're from. Like you could make up a town. Apparently you can't. Like it wouldn't accept Labyrinthium, Ohio, as a place where I might live. Like Facebook was like, no, you got to select a town from our list. And Labyrinthium, of course, is not on it because I'm lying. There's no such place as Labyrinthium, Ohio. Um, yeah, I've been really depressed all day and really pretty ill all day too, with the heart trouble. Super, super depressed. Um, but I've done about 6 bad takes of this video here in the last 20 minutes, and somewhere along the way, I managed to work up a full head of bullshit. Steam. Same difference. Anyway, I'm playing it off now. I feel fine. Was working on my movie list. I did do some movie watching today. It's about the only constructive thing I managed to do. Trying to settle on 52 movies I can vouch for 1980, like one for each week of the calendar. And then I'll move along to 1981 and do 52 more movies. But it just took me like 3 or 4 years to get this far with 1980. Up to, I think I have 45 movies on my list. 7 more. I need 7 more. I'm watching movies now. In fact, I'm being optimistic. It could take me a couple of years to find 7 more movies on this list that I think are worth watching. Yeah, eliminated a couple things today, and started watching a couple things. I don't know how I feel about them yet. I wish that it did not seem like more and more of the point of watching and reviewing, recommending movies is just to make me feel better and to give me something to do. Give me something to be charismatic and witty while I verbally masticate. Mastication. I wish I didn't feel so much like a dying guy looking at a dying art form. It's really kind of disturbing, actually. I'm bad health. I feel like I'm near collapse. I'm lonely, depressed, past all reason. I've been for a long time, and then the movies, they don't seem to help like they used to. It used to be when I was a teenager, back in the 80s, and you had to rent movies or watch them on broadcast TV or go see them in theaters. There were a lot of theaters then. There were a lot of options for that, especially if you had a car. I didn't have a car. I could take the bus or talk friends into going. Movies always made me feel better back then. I'd go see pretty much anything. But I really particularly like to see strange movies. And the 80s were strong on strange movies being new releases. And I'd scrape and scrounge and scrabble through the TV guides, finding stuff on late night cable to watch that I wasn't going to be able to see anywhere else, anyway else. And you rent movies in video stores. I didn't really have much access to video stores on my own when I was the younger end of my teens in Cincinnati. Video stores within walking distance where I did all the movie renting myself. By the time I was 16, lived in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, and my first real job was at a video store, one of them anyway. video rental store. I'd bring home 3 or 4 movies, so I'd go to a movie in a theater. Sometimes I'd go see 2 or 3 movies back to back. Sometimes scheduling enabled binging on movies like that, seeing multiple different movies instead of just the same movie over and over, repeated showtimes. Even what was playing on the big screens in the first run theaters was pretty exciting then by comparison to what goes on these days. I remember seeing Superman 2 and Dragon Slayer and Clash of the Titans all on the same day. Probably 1 or 2 other movies too. I mean, back then also movies would play for months and months if they were successful. Sometimes even longer. There was a movie theater in Cincinnati that only played Harold and Maude for like 17 years. Pretty sure exactly 17 years, if I remember correctly. I actually never went to see Harold and Maude there, but it was always an option. Like always, 7 days a week. There were 1 or 2 showtimes in the evening of Harold and Maude, same theater. Like Rocky Horror. I did see Rocky Horror multiple times in the theater when it was playing. Every Friday, every Saturday at midnight. There's a place called The Movies on Rice Street in downtown Cincinnati. They played sort of rotating classics at midnight shows every Friday, every Saturday. Different movies, stack of about 50, 60 movies they tended to draw from for those screenings. So many movies I saw there for the first time. The Man Who Fell to Earth, Decline of Western Civilization, Heavy Traffic, The Hunger. I remember seeing The Hunger for the first time at a midnight show. Liquid Sky, Repo Man, Heavy Metal, Eraserhead. One of the first times I dropped acid and went out to a movie. Maybe the first time I went out to a movie on acid. It's been 16. It's the 3rd or 4th time I took the stuff. I went to see a midnight show of Eraserhead. But if nothing was playing there that I wanted to see, the normal multiplex theater played first run mainstream wide release movies. It was down the street in the mall. Mall was all closed up by then, but at midnight every Friday, every Saturday, Rocky Horror Picture Show. So, every now and then the midnight show was sold out too at the other theater. I remember going to see Liquid Sky one night and it was sold out. I'd already seen it a couple of times. Like, I don't know why it was particularly sold out that night, but it was. Went to see Rocky Horror instead. Other places have midnight shows then too, on the weekends. I remember seeing once it's a double feature that started at midnight of Fright Night and The Return of the Living Dead, the Dan O'Bannon picture, with free coffee for anyone who stayed for the second feature, which was the Dan O'Bannon picture, The Return of the Living Dead. I vividly remember being 14, 15 years old, however old I was when this happened, and with my friend Huey, and walking out saying to each other and ourselves, was that movie, The Return of the Living Dead, really that good, or are we just like delirious? I was too young to be high that night. I hadn't ever gotten high at that point, as I recall. What a world. What a world. What am I talking about here? Is this just random reminiscences for 10 minutes? I guess it is. Yes, it is. I want to cheer up. I want people to hang out with. Oh, well, I got you. I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for listening.